I was gonna let you go as long as I humanly possibly could.
I want y'all to know, I relatively know the theme, but hey, I knew the part that I could think of right now.
Look, it was music, and I knew that you had it. That's all that mattered.
Yes, sir.
I knew you had it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Kazoo podcast, where we talk about all sorts of fun things between gaming, comic books, entertainment news that goes from movies, TV, whatever else that you have out there. Hello, I am the official Megs. This is KingVonSchweetz. And down here is the new daddy, JPhrygian.
Call me daddy, literally.
Always the daddy.
Well.
The new dad.
Thank you guys very much. Yep. We just welcomed a beautiful baby girl. We're back home. The boys were going to do this without me today, but my wife, who the supportive person that she is, was like, no, we were supposed to be already home and we're going to be home in time. Go shoot your podcast. It's only an hour or so. So
solid.
I'm here.
Just straight down in your.
Yeah. I'm just, I don't know what I do because.
Well, you tell Ava, you tell her we love her.
Yeah, we'll do. But yeah, happy to be here. Hey, everybody. Hello.
Other than it was gonna be like, oh hey, how was everyone's week? And it was just like, well, we know how yours was. Schweetz, how was your week? Good. No, you're muted.
You're on mute, bro.
I meant to have it on mute for a second.
Okay.
My week has been some crap, but hopefully, when you're at the low point, all you can do is go up, right?
I have a feeling up is coming.
Every setback is a setup for a comeback.
Boom. That's fire. Good one. And clip it. So we have the best thing I've seen this week. I actually saw it and it literally just kind of slapped me in the face and I loved it. So here we go.
I think Game of Thrones fans will be most excited to see the dragons in House of the Dragon, followed by the actors, then the sets, then the costumes, and then I think they'll be very excited to see how it ends.
I think they're ultimately gonna want to see the dragons, and they're gonna get really excited to see more Targaryens on dragons.
I mean, it has to be the 17 dragons, right? I mean, I can talk about themes and motifs and deep internecine drama of a singular family experiencing Greek tragedy, but it's 17 multicolored dragons of all different shapes and sizes. That's the thing you're all most excited about, right?
I think Game of Thrones.
So you can kill it now. I love this is why I picked this whole thing, right? The way he described the theatricalness of the storyline and how great it is and everything, and then all of a sudden they just of mice and men did of like, hey, can I pet the different colored rabbits? Like that's all anyone cares about are all the dragons that we're getting for Game of Thrones, House of Dragons.
Correct.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I think we've probably talked about it on this podcast before. Our resident over here, I think he's over here actually for me, KingVonSchweetz. He started Game of Thrones. He's going through it right now. So it's really funny. I finally
got to the part where the most annoying character dies. So
wait, that's a pretty broad statement, but did they eat a pie?
No, they ate a pie.
Oh, okay, then yes. Spoilers. Joffrey, thank God.
Anyway, but yeah, it's funny. I can't remember, Adam. You said something about House of Dragons or Game of Thrones, and he was like, you were talking about House of Dragons. It just got recently renewed for another season already. Obviously,
yeah. We'll talk about that's in there. That's in there. So yeah,
and Jay was like, I hear Game of Thrones has 8 seasons. And, they might have a prequel coming out or something like that. It was super funny.
But I love that, and I didn't put that in there, and we'll touch a little bit on it, but I love how much the author of the books has distanced himself from the show. Like
I heard about that.
I'm
today.
done. I'm out. Like, you ruined it. I wanted like 15 seasons, and you just
George Lucas.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I mean, really. So we did that. Let's talk comic books. Our resident comic genius, KingVonSchweetz over here.
So I've read only 4 comics this week, just because I've been busy. But one of those comics was the second Spider-Verse comic, which we talked about last week, and it had come but I finally read it. It was good. I'm trying to remember anything that actually happened in it that was remotely notable, but Mysterio showed up in one little bit, and that was cool. But anyway, if you're keeping up with it, the 3 last issues that haven't been released yet are coming out on September 14th, September 21st, which is my birthday, which is a great day for it to come out on, and then October 5th. And then on top of that, I also read all 3 of the first 3 out of 5 comics of the Fortnite Marvel crossover Zero Wars comics. And boy, oh boy, was I not buckled in.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you were telling me a little bit about
you
that
were telling us
last
last night about that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I need to look up when this current season ends, because I'm pretty sure the current season ends on the 28th of September.
Yeah.
And the last issue of this series comes out on the 28th of September. So I think it would be interesting if it's another Marvel series, only because they do introduce, as you can see on this cover, there are a couple characters that they haven't had put in the game, like Shuri. There's a couple more that are completely blanking from me, like Vision, Quicksilver. Anyway, so I'm interested to see if that's going to be the next season, because I learned this past week, Fortnite always has their 4th season of each chapter is superhero related. I didn't know that.
I didn't notice that was a consistent
time. It was
thing.
like, Fortnite superheroes. It was just, game created. The second chapter, season 4 was Marvel, and now we're at chapter 3, season 4. So everybody's like, "Oh, are we getting another Marvel season?" Which honestly seems like the way they're going, because WB is up in the air, which we'll talk about. But yeah. Anyway, the Fortnite comics, wild.
Can you tell us about Wolverine?
They include a lot of random characters that we
Spoiler
haven't
alert.
seen in a while, but it also includes Wolverine. They meet up. The first issue starts with them meeting up in a bar with Wolverine, and
Which is appropriate.
Spider-Man
Wolverine
comes
in
in
bars.
and says- he's like, "Hey, I need your help," and Wolverine's just immediately like, "No." And then this redheaded woman comes up next to him, and
He loves redheads.
Her name is The Imagined, and she's one of the 7 Fortnite The 7 characters, along with The Rock and apparently maybe Chris Pratt and Brie Larson. Haven't gotten there yet, but anyway, so she walks up to him and he's like, "Okay, I'm listening now." They team up with him to stop a threat. Wolverine ends up talking to her about how he's over 200 years old. She's also in the same kind of situation where she's multiple 100 years old. And things get busy.
Literally.
Quite literally.
We have a moment in the comic where Peter says, "Well, I'll just go talk to Wolverine about it." And Shuri says, "I have the senses of a jungle cat. I wouldn't go talk to him right now." And then Spider-Man says, "What do you..." Oh. And then literally the next page is Wolverine shirtless laying down with this redheaded character from Fortnite. So canonically,
Holding
Wolverine
the picture frame with the hand on it, like
Wolverine has slept with a Fortnite character.
Yo,
And
Wolverine.
hey, yo.
On top of that, Jonesy, who's like the main Fortnite skin, Shuri definitely like was like down to mess with him as well. So it's a weird comic book series.
Marvel characters in this Fortnite crossover on Demon Time, bro.
Right?
They're like, "Listen, we got to go."
They're trying to get that young X. They're trying to get the young X-Men going, right? Like, dang.
Yeah, legitimately.
Portal to
that
the
is
world may be
hilarious.
closing. We got to do stuff fast.
Gotta get in here quick. That is hilarious. And Wolverine in bars, bro. Wolverine in bars and with redheads, like every time. It's gonna be one of those two things. He's gonna be trying to smash a redhead, or he is gonna be found in a bar. I mean, the Wolverine game trailer, legitimately, like that's all they did was bar fight. So
wouldn't it be interesting if? And I didn't put that on docket. I totally forgot about She-Hulk. but imagine like they're referring to the game and like the game is some of the story.
Yeah, let's we'll
That would be
we'll throw some
interesting.
She-Hulk in there in a little
Yeah,
bit when we talk
we'll
about
put it there.
yeah, the no, that's awesome. How are you reading those comics? Do you go and picking them up at a comic shop
With his eyes.
Yeah, I go to the comic book store, and then what's great about them, and I probably should have said this first, with each one that you get, there's a code for an in-game item. So the first issue, I thought I had them next to me, but I guess I don't. The first issue is it comes with the Spider Knight costume, basically like an armored Spider-Man, which is the best thing that you can get from the comics, but each one still gives you things. So the second one comes with a wrap for your guns and your vehicles. The third one, which is probably my favorite, gives you a Wolverine pickaxe, so you can use Wolverine's claws with anybody, which was previously not the case. All three of those things will be available in the item shop at some point. Spider-Man already has. But the other two items, which haven't been, I don't think they've been announced yet. I could be wrong. But those two items will not be anywhere in the item shop. So those are the more coveted items. Actually, I'm remembering now. One is another wrap, and then the other one I want to say is a loading screen.
Probably.
I believe that's it.
And I'm guessing they'll be available probably the next season if it is a Marvel thing.
Yeah, it'll be like a special one sale thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fortnite knows how to get my money every single time.
They're going to get heavy money for today and tomorrow because Dragon Ball's leaving.
Is it really leaving already?
Yep. 2 days. 2 days left. Yesterday was 3.
Also, in the same breath, September 2nd, apparently there's rumors that Raven from Teen Titans might be hitting the item shop.
Yes.
So right now, if you go into the Fortnite item shop, I don't know if it's changed already, but it had Dragon Ball, which is now leaving. It had Patrick Mahomes, which
the Patrick Mahomes skin is fire.
It's really cool, but I'm like, I don't care for football, so I'm like, weird, but nice, I guess.
Well, they're having it because this week coming up is the last preseason week, and then NFL starts next week.
So yeah, they have like a bunch of random crossovers happening right now, and like it feels good with one happening, but then you add in the second, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, what was the thought? But yeah, as someone who I know we talked about this earlier in the podcast, hopefully I will get to play some games again with you fellas soon. But right now I'm super busy. So I know I'm probably gonna just miss Dragon Ball. I think I got everything that
I'm not even close. Tomorrow's gonna grind.
Like the getting all the Dragon Balls, got Shinron. I think I got everything. So they didn't add any other characters. But I'm gonna be missing out on the end of that season because I got, duties and everything. But
literally
duties.
Literal duties. Hey, last night, let me tell you.
Life-changing, isn't it?
We had a moment where just trying everything to get baby calm and to go to sleep. And when we finally figured out what was going on, what was wrong, and she had a lot to say and a lot to let out, literally. And then when she lay down to sleep, we literally both turned and looked at each other and went, whew. It felt like a sitcom, like legitimately. And but hopefully by month 1, month 2, things will be a little easier. Speaking of 2 months after my baby was born, Gotham Knights is coming out in October. You dead right, baby. And we finally got to look at the villains. Looks like it will be a Harley driven game. They said the big boss reveal yesterday for the last battle. Harley looks good. They will have Clayface, the freeze of all freezes, and a couple other ones. So are we excited about this game? Yeah, Court of Owls in there. Are we excited about the game? Yes or no?
I think so. I think that this game could potentially give kind of like what Spider-Man PS4 did for Spider-Man No Way Home. It could give them some good ideas as far as where to take things. and I think
we know they won't listen.
I think Clayface would be a really good, even though a lot of people haven't like heard of him or care for him. I think Clayface would be a really good villain for Batman too, because he's able to shape change, and like that would really just fuck with Batman completely. So I'm hoping they utilize him well, because usually he's like in one fight scene and then they throw him away.
Now, because the Matt Reeves Batman, is more realistic storying, would you almost do it like a chameleon style, where he's good at doing different disguises, or do you want the actual?
I think this way would be a good way to let some of the sci-fi elements slip in a little bit more. But it wouldn't be like you get to see his whole origin story kind of thing. Like it would just be already established.
Yeah, kind of like he he's had his little thing happen. He's in Gotham now. They've got like this criminal activity, and then all of a sudden it's like another thing happened, but it was a different person. But Batman notices things that are left behind. Notices like, oh, what is this material? What's this stuff on the walls?
Clump of clay on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. I think that because I hear that debate a lot about the Matt Reeves Batman. It seems very grounded. Like, because Batman has a vast rogues gallery. Like we see Joker and Harley Quinn and Two-Face. We see all the time. Give me back some Mr. Freeze. I was saying, give me Clayface, because I think that you can do it, and the way Matt Reeves did it to make Gotham so dark, you can make it to where you're starting to see these creatures. You see Killer Croc or something like that, and like it can still work and almost kind of delve into like some thriller type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he pulls up and it's just like big half Clayface.
And I think there's like a way to do that with implementing kind of like how the MCU does, where one thing can affect the rest of time.
Correct.
I think like there's a list of characters you could use, because a lot of them are scientists, but having something happen where multiple people get infected in a certain area and each one has a different reaction. Batman doesn't have a whole lot of characters with abnormal powers, like powers that you and I couldn't get if we worked really hard. The only two I can really think of immediately are Poison Ivy, Clayface. I don't know. Like Bane's just super strong. Joker and everybody else are just really crazy.
Man-Bat.
I was like, Bane's literally just strong off drugs.
Do like a Man-Bat Clayface kind of thing, where like it does multiples almost, or like you're starting to see different things.
And this is the last thing I'll say on this, but the Batman Arkham Knight game did a phenomenal job with Professor Pig. And I know nobody gives a shit about Professor Pig, but I think that even if they do that would be a really good take of just like, there's a serial killer going around, and then just literally ripping what they did in the game, put it in
I actually brought up, like, if they wanted to do, say, 4 movies, like have that second one be like super kind of horror-ish, and do Zaz and Pig, and like just do a whole thing. I think that'd be fire.
I think like if they are never going to include him in any bigger picture thing like Justice League, or even just him and Superman, then they probably won't ever do anything like Poison Ivy or Clayface. And they'll probably keep it with more grounded characters, but hopefully they will.
But you don't want it to look like it's some magical thing, or like, there's like crazy things going on and stuff like that, or anything.
Yeah. And
I also thinking another person that is potential for a secondary villain is Hush, just because they did allude to him.
Yeah.
Hush would be a good one too. But I don't know. With WB right now, it looks like it may be delayed.
Speaking of WB and delaying things, Hogwarts got delayed again.
Did it?
Oh, we promise it's coming out this year.
This was like news from 2 weeks ago, but
yeah,
we didn't really talk about it, and I feel like nobody's talking about it. But I had it pre-ordered because it was coming out like Christmas.
Like 2 years ago.
Which, Christmas, I don't know why, but Christmas feels like a good time for Harry Potter stuff. It's very like,
Right?
Because that da 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 da. It kind of
just
sounds like a Christmas.
Doesn't the first one take place during Christmas at some point? Maybe.
Yeah.
the second
Yeah,
one.
yeah. There's
But,
a Christmas scene. It's like Harry's first Christmas. Like that doesn't suck.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know, like it fit, but they pushed it back about 2 months to February 10th. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't even want to say 2023 because that doesn't sound like a real year.
it does feel weird saying these years now, right? Like, and then like when you and I are when we go to D23, they're going to be like, oh, so these movies and shows come out in 2025, and you're like,
really? I want to put on a flapper girl costume and be like, I'm living in the 20s.
Yeah, like what? All of a sudden,
like,
they're going to be talking about 2030 things, and I'm like, what's going on?
Should finish around 2030.
That literally just reminded me legit of what's his name? John Mulaney. He's just like, that's not a real year.
Oh yeah, 2024, I'll be on the moon sipping moon juice with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the president.
Yeah, like, and look at how far away he is from that in 2024 at this point. That man is almost 40, by the way, or is. We watched John Mulaney while we were waiting for the baby. Yeah. I'm just saying that, like,
with that.
In the stand-up, he's like talking about how he's 29, and I was like, "Damn, this came out in 2012, so he's 39 now." That's all. Nothing's wrong with it, Adam.
Is there a problem with being that old?
You know what? Now I find a problem with it. How about that? No, but the other thing about Hogwarts Legacy, I just did want to talk about, like, and I don't know, bro.
And it's an open world game, which is the best part about it.
This is really quick. I was in someone's Twitch chat. Someone asked the streamer, he was like, so are you getting into that Hogwarts Legacy? Because this is a guy who was talking about playing it, and he probably was kidding. He was like, no, I don't feel like getting canceled. And he was joking, but he was just like, yeah, you ain't seen everybody on Twitter talking about J.K. Rowling still makes money off of it. So if you support it, you support a bigot. I'm just like, can I please just like anything? Like, I just like Harry Potter.
It's okay. It's one of those things, and I keep saying this to my fiance, because we have people within our family as well as us who are more left wing than right wing, and it's one of those things like where you have Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby. Do you not shop at those? Like, do you never go to Chick-fil-A? Because if you do, then wow, like you really take your beliefs seriously. But most of us are just like, oh yeah, they're not supportive of the LGBTQ community, but I like their chicken. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like,
I'm not
handing a stack of cash to J.K. Rowling.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, because when I saw about it, I was like, does she make royalties off of this? And I didn't get a chance to research it because obviously I had more important things. I made a TikTok about it today too. Again, with our favorite sound. Can anybody just shut the fuck up? It's just like, we're always there. The only way to have a just cause for anything is to literally source your own food, source your own resources, source your own entertainment.
Yeah.
You can't escape that somebody somewhere is doing something shady. And yeah, again, I will probably play the game with you guys as well. I'm like, I don't think that me playing a video game means that I support the things J.K. Rowling said.
Shut the fucko. Like,
it's that Captain America quote from Civil War. It's like, yeah, it's made by people with agendas, and agendas change. And it's just like, everybody has an agenda. Everyone. Even if you don't want to say it, I have an agenda. My agenda currently is to get money so that way I can pay for this wedding. Like, everybody has something, and in their mind, they are one track towards that. So Jordan right now is like, I'm going to protect my family and provide for my family as best as I can because his family just added a +1. Adam right now, Adam's just like, I want to stay the heck away from my wife because she's, having a hangover right now, and she may not be feeling.
Slept most of the day. No, she's good.
But like, everybody has an agenda, and they're always working towards that. And you don't know what big conglomerate, companies have as their agendas. And if you're gonna pin one person down like J.K. Rowling and say, I will never enjoy anything Harry Potter ever again because she's a bigot, then you're just limiting what you can like. That's
because yes, is she a little? Maybe. Does that mean you stop liking something that you like?
Right, because at this point, Harry Potter That is something that's a part of so many. That is like saying, and this one will break our realm of TikTok. That is like if we found out that the Russo brothers did some whatever, not saying that they have, but just say something's like Anthony Russo said X,
Like
Y,
James
Z
Gunn.
back in 2000.
You know what the perfect example is? James Gunn as well as Kevin Spacey. Is Bug's Life a bad movie because Kevin Spacey was in it? Is Baby Driver? I don't think those movies are bad at all. Baby Driver is one of my favorite films, but I don't support Kevin Spacey and his shit that he's done. Like,
exactly.
You can like something without directly being like, I support that person.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of horseshit,
you literally had it right in front of me of big conglomerates and things like that and what's going on. And I was like,
speaking of agendas.
Yeah. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, well, this is not aged well.
Guys, rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple.
No, seriously though, what is going on at Warner Brothers right now? Like, I don't. Okay, so let's start with the obvious, right? Ezra Miller has apologized and said that they are sorry for what they have done. And now Warner Brothers is like, cool, when we start doing media, whenever the hell Flash comes out, we will allow Ezra to be part of the media stuff. Look, we've said this. It's not our place to say, well, you know, for an apology or things like that. It did not happen to us, but like legally, it doesn't look great. And as a PR person, I know you're like, that doesn't look good at all.
As a PR person, I can already imagine the companies and different routes of media that they take where they won't pre-screen with people. And it'll just be like every interview you'll see, if they don't pre-screen, every interview will be, so Ezra, let's talk about your past. And we're just like, we're here to talk about the movie.
Yeah, so we have that and everything going on. And then we were starting to like take that pill and like, it was all right, well, if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do, and move away. And then all of a sudden this came out of Ezra really didn't care what we were saying about them in the tabloids and in the headlines and all that stuff. But when they found out that they possibly were going to cancel The Flash, they got in touch with Warner Brothers, which, let's be honest, they've been in touch with Warner Brothers the entire time.
You got their number on speed dial.
Seriously, number one. And because they were going to cancel it, Ezra decided to do the apology because they enjoy playing Flash too much to lose it.
He said, hold up.
Yeah.
You think
I won't be getting paid?
Let's be honest, he'll get paid still.
He wouldn't get. They wouldn't get paid as much.
Correct. So, okay.
How do you think you're gonna still play the Flash even if the movie comes out?
But they even said, hey, we're done with Ezra Miller. Warner Brothers did, and now it's like totally forgot about that. Also, shout out Ray Fisher. So, right, and then this happens of what is going on with Don't Worry, Darling. I can, first of all, to find out Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be the lead actor instead of Harry Styles. Okay. I mean, I don't hate Shia LaBeouf. I think troubled past. I think other stuff. I think he's not a great human being. I think he's a little bit crazy. I mean, he did get his entire body tattooed for a role, for his comeback role. Yeah, do it. But now apparently him and the director of the movie, Miss Wilde, have been going back and forth on words, and one is blaming the other. And now he has these audio recordings of her, and everything about this movie now is a mess because she got served papers while they were at a film festival and she was speaking about her movie, and then this, and now the other announcement after the Paris film festival, Olivia Wilde or Florence Pugh was doing no media for it. So what is going on at Warner Brothers? Like everything they're touching is trash fire. Oh, best part of the week. Moving Aquaman and Flash, or moving Aquaman and Shazam to next year further, which Aquaman was already moved, but now it's going back to December. and Shazam is going to right there. Shazam is going to March because, quote, Warner Brothers does not have enough money to put more movies out this year. They can only afford to put 2 movies out. One, Don't Worry Darling, which honestly I think looks fantastic. I think it's going to be a really good movie. But then you have Black Adam is the other one, which at some point I'm guessing there'll be some kind of fire to that thing. Who knows? And now but
I don't
now
think
we've got.
I think the movie will just be garbage.
I agree with that. It's just what is going on?
Everything is turning to poo poo. Literally.
Discovery's got to be sitting there going, how do we sell them?
Why did they buy them? At this point, like, why did you buy them?
How do we sell this? What are we doing? How do we get rid of it?
One of the other things too, and I mean, this is a tough thing, but this tweet had merit that I saw, and it goes with something that I said. But I'm gonna share the tweet first. So for those of you listening, you can check us out on YouTube, the Daily Kazoo Podcast. You can see the visual, but I'm gonna read out the tweet again. However you feel about the Will Smith slap heard around the world back in March, I know I didn't agree with it. I was like, dang, bro, like really? Like, I know you was mad, but why? This person, Zoe Rose Bryant, tweeted, interesting how Will Smith slapped one dude and was essentially excommunicated from Hollywood. Projects put on hold, stuff canceled, all that stuff. But Ezra Miller can assault people around the world, kidnap children, and start a cult. Allegedly,
and the other two. The assault's real.
All allegedly. And still be welcomed back with open arms because, as Adam said, was basically told, all right, you made your public apology. You can still go on the press tour after we announced months ago.
Wasn't even a public apology. We don't even know who
actually wrote it.
Typed, whatever.
Exactly. And it's just interesting because this was after, as Adam said, WB was like, we've cut ties with Ezra Miller. So the thing that I said recently, again, we could speak in what ifs all day, but it'd be funny to see how quickly, I think my boy Nemo said this, but it'd be interesting to see how quickly the movie would have been canceled had this been about a Wally West that was played by a black actor.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Call a spade. As Adam says, Ray Fisher. You can always go back to the Ray Fisher example. Ray Fisher had
once has there been a public apology from Warner Brothers to Ray or any kind of, look, we messed up, we're sorry. Nothing. Not one thing. And all he did was try to stop Joss Whedon from being a douchebag and Warner Brothers allowing it to keep happening.
Yep. And, we had possible Black Green Lantern scrapped. We had Batgirl scrapped for nothing.
Blue Beetle better be praying every night.
And this is outside of Warner Brothers. This goes to something that this is not on the docket. It's just a real quick thing. Interesting and funny, and I applaud him. Recently, John Boyega, for example, after everything that he went through with Star Wars, he was asked if he would return. He was like, I'm good. And I think Ray Fisher would probably be a similar thing, even if, there was an apology. Will you come back? Will you take a role? I'm good. And I applaud them for that. It's one of those things that, again, your bag is your bag. I kind of expected it out of Johnny Depp. When I heard Johnny Depp was going back to Disney bag, I was like, after all that? I mean,
yeah, well, if you're Dan Lin, you're a little worried right now, right? Like, so rumor is Dan Lin is taking over as their Kevin Feige and running DC, being the DC head. And you walk in, can you see the room right now? These two are literally fist fighting. The water cooler is on fire. So water is on fire and you have no idea how the hell that's happening. Somebody's trying to actually cut somebody over here in the corner. And you go, this is what I got? Like, what is this?
But I feel like at the same time, he's walking in going, there's nowhere to go but up.
Right.
He's like, as long as I don't announce something that can be canceled, I'm okay.
At that point, he can literally just be like, yeah.
It's Dan Lin right here.
Dead ass, 100%. That's literally what I thought of.
Childish Gambino walking in to the burning room for anybody listening.
It's not on the docket, but real quick, how fantastic is it the community's getting a movie? So awesome.
I keep getting my heart broken because they keep saying this, and diehard fans know it's a line in the series, 6 seasons in a movie. They got dropped after 4 seasons, and then I think it was Yahoo or something picked it up for the last 2, and we're like, okay, now when's the movie? And everybody kind of gave up hope because Chevy Chase is a racist, Yvette Nicole Brown and Donald Glover I don't want to work with him anymore. But people are also we want all 7 of the actors back. Whole shit. So I'm just pumped that this movie is still in their minds with Dan Harmon, because Dan Harmon seems like he's getting his life together. He's working on Rick and Morty more. I'm just pumped. I'm pumped. I cannot wait for this movie. It could be literally garbage, and I would still love it.
I think honestly most of the fans are the same way.
They just want it. It's what it keeps the people going.
But what else people wanted? Some more Game of Thrones like we were talking about. That's why I put it in there. The premiere of House of Dragons happened this past week, and the new episode is tomorrow. Looks fantastic. I watched it. Boys, did you watch it?
No, I'm not that it's spoilery, but I'm
just kick Jacob out.
I'm only in,
yeah, right.
I'm only in season 4 of Game of Thrones, and I know it's a prequel, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid it because it's still chronologically. I feel like I shouldn't watch it until after Game of Thrones.
Kind of like watching prequels before you watch the original Star Wars type thing.
Yeah, there's an appreciation almost. Even though canonically in the timeline it's before, understanding the name Targaryen and what that's meant and all the lore and everything, there'll probably be Easter eggs in the prequel that are oh shoot, that's the land that was they're actually at in Game of Thrones and all that stuff. Ooh, this is a descendant, or this is the ancestor of this other character.
I wonder what it would be like watching both at the same time, especially because he's halfway through the series at season 4. Watching it episodically now while he's watching Game of Thrones. How does that link in a little bit? I think that'd be cool. But apparently a couple people watched it. Currently right now it's up to 20 million households have watched it. They've greenlit the season 2. Wow. There's 9 more episodes from the first episode, so 10 in total. All the names, we've got them. The Rogue Prince is the next one. Second of his name, King of the Narrow Sea, We Light the Way, The Princess and the Queen, Driftmark, which sounds iffy.
All right.
What? The
I have
Lord
no
of
idea what you mean by that.
Driftmark, Skidmark, the Lord of the Tides, the Green Council, and the Black Queen. Those are the titles.
Great.
That last one sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know Beyonce was going to be in Game of Thrones.
Damn. Shout out Beyonce. But yeah, so far I love it. I can't wait for tomorrow's episode. And it's just so good to get fantasy again. Something different other than comics and some BS or whatever. And I don't know if you guys saw the video of the apartments, the wall of apartments with the windows, and 11 windows had the same coloring changing in the
They were all watching it literally at the exact
same
time.
Yeah, it's
Which
everyone
wild,
forgot.
That hasn't happened since people were really watching things on cable.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were talking about that not during stream yesterday, but I think day before, something like that, of how Netflix. Oh, it was yesterday. Netflix did announce their commercialed Netflix, where it's going to be $7 to $9 somewhere in there a month, which is fantastic. But Jacob makes a good point. We're going back to television. It's hey, you don't want commercials, you're paying this amount of money. And it was yes, I'm in. No more commercials. Now streaming networks are the most watched thing in the US. And now all of a sudden they're well, we're going to put commercials in there to make it cheaper, because technically now you're paying the same thing you were paying for cable. And now we're back at it. Although now Netflix is making a joke and they're making a Blockbuster show, and they're the ones that put Blockbuster out of business, which is
Didn't they put a Blockbuster documentary at some point of the last Blockbuster on there? Yeah. It's always been ironic. Speaking of the commercials, actually, just a real quick point. Something my friend actually pointed out, and I actually think it had merit, and I may give it a try, not with YouTube though. That's a different story. Yeah. But the idea of commercials, he was talking about how almost it might be a better thing to have commercials because like remember before it was just that like stimulus break of like get up, go to the bathroom, go do other stuff, check your phone. He was like, I watch stuff with so many people who like, because it's easily accessible and they can pause it or rewind it, they're just on their phone the whole time. They're not actually like sometimes paying attention. And I was like, you have a fair point. It was like that little break sometimes is good. Like just look down at your phone, do something else, get up, go to the bathroom, but then come back. And so I had that thought. I was like, maybe I will like keep ad breaks in when Disney Plus goes to have commercials. I don't know.
It's fun. It's funny, right? Like how we're going from having so much stuff thrown at you with no break to now we're gonna put breaks back into it. We went away from it because we didn't want it. Now we're like, it's cheaper. Yeah, I'll take it back.
And I think just people are overstimulated on content. I mean, even from when you're watching and then what's coming out. I mean, look at how. I mean, great. We have topics for the show, but like, if you have all types of regular life going on, which most of us do, and most people listening to this do, keeping up with everything has gotten so difficult now. You used to be able to watch 10 shows at a time because it was like, this one's on Monday at this time, this one's later that day, these two come out Tuesday, Thursday. Like, but now it's just like,
playing your week binge.
Well, I mean, starting next week, I don't have it on here because it's not out yet. Starting next week starts Lord of the Rings, so it's like Thursday is a She-Hulk, Friday is Lord of the Rings, and then Sunday is Game of Thrones, and it's just like, well, there's those three things, and then say you're watching another thing going on, there's a fourth show, so it's it's a lot. Definitely. So I agree. But House of Dragons, we're excited, not excited? Yay, we'll watch it.
I'm pretty excited.
I know you're still going through it.
The only reason that I haven't watched it was because we were very busy.
You had your own little dragon coming.
Exactly. We was trying to get an egg to hatch.
She came out. She was like, Dracarys.
She said Dracarys, all right.
Oh, I know she did.
Different ways.
Oh, I know she did.
Different ways.
Well, I'm sure she'll be watching cartoons soon. You'll be getting her.
Oh yeah,
into it.
I gotta get her into the classics. This is why HBO Max is great. Although they have some problems recently, but they have some of my classic cartoons, Bugs Bunny. They currently still have Batman the Animated Series out there.
Well, it's good you brought up that show because remember when that whole group was going to make another thing called Cape Crusaders, and then we were all excited and because they were going to get the Batman of Batmans and then have everything, and then now HBO canceled it. Well, there's a bidding war going on for it right now. Bidding war for Apple Plus, Netflix, and Hulu, which I think is hysterical because can you imagine if Hulu gets it? Because that's technically Disney.
That would be hysterical. Disney getting a DC property.
Not only a DC property, let's be honest. The Batman series, that Batman animated series, Conroy, iconic Kevin. DC stuff. Yeah, like Hulu getting it?
Kevin. Yeah. Conroy.
I really foresee Netflix getting it. I don't know why, but like
Netflix seems to just have money, $30 million an episode for Stranger Things. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They over there selling drugs or something.
They did announce eight episodes. Same amount of episodes for the finale of Netflix. Or of Stranger Things for Netflix.
Oh, nice. I was like, what are you talking about?
They announced that the other day.
Episodes? Yeah, Apple TV Plus getting Cape Crusader would be interesting because Apple just got money like that, and Apple TV Plus has kind of been on the up and up with some of its stuff coming out, but I can see Netflix. It would be funny if Netflix got it off the simple fact that remember that's how Netflix got its big start.
Yeah,
licensing other properties, man.
Well, honestly, let's talk about the one thing that really pumped Netflix out was the Marvel properties and getting, Daredevil out there and getting Punisher out there and getting Luke Cage out there. And like that, let's be honest.
They had Netflix, the nostalgia and they started getting the
Daredevil show really helped them.
I remember when that came out, boy, I was like, is this in the MCU? Because whenever they were like dudes flying around with hammers, the incident. I at the time I didn't understand what canon was. I was just like, it's all MCU.
Nobody does.
When is Daredevil gonna be an Avengers movie?
No, I think if I'm gonna pick one to get it, I think Hulu's gonna get it. I really do.
You think they do it just to slap him in the face like AWB?
Mhm. I think the mouse. I think the mouse is gonna get what he wants as always, and just be done with it. Well, speaking of the mouse and Disney, can we talk about? I just don't get it. Planet of the Apes trilogy is one of the best trilogies out there, and you want to do another one. You're going to give me something better than Caesar.
You could just leave it alone. It was already great. Leave it alone. That's how I personally feel. I'm sure it could be good. It could come out better, but it's kind of like Joker. It's kind of like Joker with Joker 2. Like, does it have potential? Yes. Does it need to happen? I don't think so. Caesar, you can't. No, you can't.
I'm more worried
replicate that.
In their head,
beautiful.
They're like, this is going to be fantastic, but it's a 4-year-old with coloring, like crayons. And it's just, here's what I drew. And it's like, nope.
I don't know. Have y'all seen the Hot Ones on YouTube episode with Matt Damon?
Yeah.
He has like this bit in there where he talks about how, you used to be able to make the kind of movies that he was in whenever he was younger. Like, I don't know why I can't think of the one that he was in with Robin Williams, literally the one that I was thinking of. Good Will Hunting, like those kind of movies. And even like movies like Back to the Future and, Planet of the Apes, those kinds of movies where like there's nothing like it before. It's absolutely brand new. It's hard to make those kinds of things now that aren't connected to something else, like Marvel or Planet of the Apes having like 3 or 4 different versions of it now. Star Trek has like 2 or 3 shows that have been going on in the past 2 or 3 years. Like everything is just recycled. And it's getting to the point where everybody's like, can we just move on? And like, I'm at the point where I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, and I'm wondering, when are they going to reboot my favorite movie and make it absolute dog shit? And I'm sure that they're going to continue to do this for a long time until they figure out people just don't want any more Planet of the Apes or don't want any more blank. But I don't know. This to me is not surprising. It's disappointing. But back to what Matt Damon was saying was, you can't make those movies anymore because it used to be you make money when it goes to the movie theater. And if it does well, great. You're going to make even more money when it goes to DVD. But now with movies going to the theater or just going straight to streaming, they're not getting any extra money for it going to streaming because the company owns it. They can just throw it on their streaming platform and people are paying to watch it. I don't really know how the whole finances go behind running a streaming company, but I don't think Disney Plus is going, Jeff, 100 more people watched your show today. We're going to go ahead and pay you another, $20 or whatever. Like, I don't think that's how that works. I think it's you get a one-time thing and that's how it goes.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the way the music industry even went, like downloads now are how you get paid. It's not on actual units. Like even for the company I work for, when CDs and stuff come in, we get like 3 of them, if that. And that's what goes out for new release.
It's the downfall of actual entertainment, and it's been going on for decades now with streaming being out since the 90s.
Netflix changed the game, man.
They changed the game, but now it's getting to the point where we're like, was it a good thing?
It's one of those things where like I feel like it was that new cog in the wheel that really shook things up and changed the competition, because again, what happened was Netflix was the hub of, not that one, was the hub for different like old properties. They started to have some originals. They started to get licensed for new properties. And then it's like the companies that own them were like, y'all are making a lot of money let's just make our own, get our own stuff back and put it on our stuff. So now that's why you have the Disney Plus, you have the Peacock, you have the Paramount Plus. And now it's just to the point where like everything is toppling because it's got like the entire thing has gone too top heavy now.
Well, it's like cue the Padme quote, right? Like, oh, this is how it ends in a thunderous applause, right? Like everyone's excited, everything's streaming and out there for us so easily to get it, but now it's just like too much.
And it's going to continue this way. I mean, do you know what Disney's going to do once they've introduced every single Marvel character that there is? They're going to start over.
Yeah. Somebody will do it.
There will be an MCU 2, and it's just, they're going to call it something else, but it just cycles. It just cycles. And we have to get to a place where and I don't think it's ever going to happen, but we as a society and culture can support more movies that aren't based on something else. Like we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. Prey would have been an amazing movie if it wasn't a Predator movie. Like it's still an amazing movie, but like why did it need to be a Predator? You know what I mean?
Like you could have just had a movie about an indigenous tribe that is dealing with an otherworldly creature.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have had the marketing and the backing from, even if Hulu was still like, yeah, this is a great movie, put it on our platform, you probably wouldn't have had the funding from Hulu as you would if it's a Predator movie. And that's what sucks is people are just so only comfortable with what they're comfortable with, and they're not willing to watch something new, expand their horizons as far as shows go.
I mean, look at like a diamond in the rough with Squid Game.
Yep.
He worked on that for so long, got
10
told
years.
no so many times, and it was a brand new property, completely original idea, and it took Netflix taking the risk, and it also even took things like Parasite walking so it could run, because I think Parasite opened up people's mind more to watching a foreign film, something that wasn't in their native language, and you also couldn't get it dubbed in your native language either. Well, I think you could watch it dubbed, but it sucked apparently. But yeah, it's just, you're right. It's kind of the downfall of it. It's just like, we all love what we do. Most of us, I believe, started on, well, I didn't start on TikTok. Most of us are on TikTok, and even we see it now where it's like, you got factions all over social media that's like, this was never good. That was always bad. This was the greatest of all time. And it's all just getting so top heavy that it's just going to fall down.
But that's what it is, though. It was Netflix taking the risk on Squid Games. And I think these risks are what eventually I hope companies start realizing that's where their money is, because they're coming out with a Squid Game season 2. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
That is now becoming a franchise. They took a huge risk with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and making a full MCU after him. And, yes, it's a risk, and your movie may not be good. If the first Iron Man sucked, we probably wouldn't have gotten to where we are now.
I think if it didn't have Robert Downey Jr., we wouldn't be where we are. Well, I think even if it was someone else, if the movie itself was just garbage, we wouldn't have probably made it to phase 2. So like they need to
wouldn't have made it to Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, they need to continue taking risks, and it doesn't even need to be an original story. Like if you think about it, we didn't have an Iron Man movie that wasn't a very low budget movie ever until 2008. Like there are stories to be told out there. Well, for some reason, people are like, "Hey, Predator, the '80s movie. Let's reboot that." What else we got? We got Star Trek. We've got King Kong, which
King Kong prequel series. Yeah,
Disney's like, let's make a prequel about King Kong, and on top of that, isn't WB making a sequel to King Kong versus Godzilla or
no prequel? It's a team up in their quote unquote fighting a Colossus enemy that has not surfaced ever, so it's a brand new monster. Which, what are we gonna get? But yeah, no, I agree. That's why I brought up the other day a franchise that I think never was able to breathe just because of I think it was too early for the time. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal as a, like you're saying, Jacob, like a risk taking. And I understand everyone in my comments was like, oh, they tried that. Universal did the dark Universal and like all that stuff. And I'm like, no, like give me A24 or somebody else who takes a risk and does this its own way. I think that'd be fantastic. But it'd be something different. I mean, and like, look, I hate James Cameron. I hate James Cameron with a passion. But I'll be the first one in line to watch Avatar 2 or the other ones. I just think it was so different and so good. And yes, I agree. It is Dancing with Wolves. It is Pocahontas. It is Ferngully. I don't disagree with that at all.
Like he's on his 4th re-release. And it's just like,
right. No, and I get that.
That too. It's the gimmick.
It did change visuals and everything like that. And it's just it's again fantasy. I love fantasy, so I'll go see it.
You can respect something while still hating it.
Correct. Well, speaking of respecting things that people hate, She-Hulk. So, fantastic first 2 episodes for me. I think it's going well. Did you guys see the trailer for the 3rd one?
Not yet.
I haven't seen.
Oh, let me help you. So the trailer is the car with Matt Murdock in suit flying over, like we've seen in the break. So we will get Daredevil in episode 3. We also will get Wong in episode 3. And we get the scene where Wong is in the auditorium kind of magical place that they were showing where he's fighting some deity demon thing, and the frozen photo that everyone showed of Johnny Blaze. So we will get answers of some sort.
If that was just an Easter
week.
egg, which it probably was.
Who knows? But apparently from what I've heard from people who have watched all 4 episodes, the 3rd one is it. Like that is the one that is going to break the internet. And it has nothing to do with Daredevil, they said.
Mm-hmm.
So
just whatever it is that Wong's like, we need your help. There's something bigger. Maybe why he was why he took Emil to the fight ring. Because
I think that's going to primarily be the reason he's there is just explain yourself.
I answered in someone's comments because they were, I don't remember who it was. They were talking about like, oh, this continuity doesn't make sense. Like Bruce, again, like why can't we just watch this stuff?
Why can't we be friends?
But
it
Bruce
also
had
wasn't
this
very educationally founded. But
why is Bruce wearing the sling at the end of Shang-Chi, and Emil is fighting, but Bruce is obviously
takes place after Shang-Chi. Like who said it took place during? And if they did, like. Ignore them.
Timeline wise, actually, if you look at it in the MCU on Disney Plus, it is before Miss Marvel. So that's the only thing that it is before, which I think is interesting. I think this is where we see more of
the effect, maybe from Kamran.
Maybe, or we see more of that faction, like the I forget what they're called. The
ones with the scarves.
What's that? No, the police. Well, what did you say, Jacob?
The
clandestines.
Yeah, no, not the clandestine. The actual
Department of Damage Control.
Yeah. I think we'll see more of that. I think we see like why they're trying to go after people. We might see more of from like No Way Home, things like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, the building that Blonsky was being kept in, didn't it say damage control on the outside?
Yes.
Of it?
Yeah.
So I think we'll see more of that.
Yeah, it was just funny to me. I didn't see that someone said it was during Shang-Chi, and some of it could have been, some of it, whatever. But no, never mind. No, never mind. No, I'm wrong. Ignore me. I'm also slightly tired.
Daddy brain?
Yeah, a little bit of daddy brain. But yeah, it was just interesting. Someone was like, how, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how many times have we, not only in TV, but in real life, seen the whole like court cases coming up, and here's the defense is killing it, and all of a sudden some leaked footage comes out to basically blow the defenses, like sway the jury essentially, like of course Blonsky's, again, they're doing this like a law show. That's literally that's the cheesy thing that happens in like NCIS or CSI and and Law and Order. It's just, she took up the case. Blonsky's about to be on trial, and whoop, someone leaked on the internet that Blonsky's been sneaking out and playing hooky. You know, like it just because the footage came out didn't mean that it was happening right then when Jen was watching.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then the other thing is, like, it's not even like Jen can talk to anybody because now Bruce is off planet. Randomly, just kind of like convenience of, well, I'm done with the episode, bye, and just off.
Yeah, I'm off to Sakar.
I need to get that cell phone plan he has that he can reach Jen, you know, off world like that. You know,
seriously.
That thing probably expensive though.
It's probably a little after effect of Tony not being able to, in that scene where he disconnects with Pepper.
Yeah,
you know, Tony's always changing his tech. He had 5 years after that to fix it, so he probably did.
But there was a joke in there. Do you remember the Bruce Banner joke?
I love that joke. He said, "Oh, Blonsky? Yeah, me fighting him, that was years ago. I'm a new person, literally."
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Referenced Edward Norton. And this is the second time they've done it, by the way. Literally,
Poor Edward Norton
shows up and his first line is, "I'm here, deal with it." Like, it's hilarious because now Marvel's just so meta with these jokes of, yeah, we're recasting. Shut up.
Isn't that crazy how like they used to just recast and they didn't say shit? Like, so I recently rewatched funny enough, jokingly, I was like, maybe this will make the baby hurry up come. We watched Avengers really late at night, and because I was like, this has like some funny stuff in it, maybe it'll make Laven laugh and all that.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting, and I need to make some videos. I'm taking my time with it, but it's interesting how much in She-Hulk they pulled direct from that first Avengers movie, like the conversations between Tony and Bruce, like seeing where he's like, "You're tap dancing, you need to strut," and he was like, Tony always talked about like that gamma radiation should have killed you, like hint in, like they didn't nuance it in Avengers, but when Bruce puts perspective in it in She-Hulk, talking about how like he was basically hinting that I should have died. The Hulk saved me. Like becoming the Hulk wasn't like the gamma necessarily turned me into the Hulk. It was kind of like the gamma was gonna kill me, and the Hulk was like the thing that. Which
is funnier because the first time him and Nat meet, he's like, I tried to put a bullet in my mouth. The other guy spit it out.
Another guy spit it out. It's like Tony was always the one who was like, you think of it like a hindrance, but I think it's what is saving your life. I think the only reason that the amount of gamma in your blood doesn't kill you is because you turn into the Hulk. Like that's what it is.
He literally said, Tony said to him, like, or Bruce said to Tony, "What? So you think this is some like higher calling? Like Hulk is supposed to, help me with something in the future?" That's nice. That's a nice sentiment. And literally that led up to him being able to snap for half of the world coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
and everyone's saying the show's not great,
Whatever.
As I've said before, I do think, especially if they're going to continue on with a Hulk film or TV show, wherever he's going off to, I do think that we're going to see him lose a bit of the control over Hulk as he has now.
We have
the other guy's going to come back.
Yeah, we kind of have to. And with space and everything and the future of Marvel going on right now, you and I will see, obviously, a little Fantastic Four coming soon. Maybe a cast announcement at D23, but the one thing that here's the funny thing, right? Hasn't been confirmed, but apparently Matt Shakman is going to be the director for Fantastic Four. Supposed to be directing Star Trek 4, went to Fantastic Four, and has announced, "I'm not doing Fantastic Four anymore," but has not confirmed he's doing Fantastic Four anymore, or Star Trek 4. Hasn't confirmed he's doing Fantastic Four yet. It's just like, tell me it without telling me it.
I think Kevin Feige and Disney know Matt Shakman made them a large chunk of change with WandaVision, and they're like, you know what? Let's just put this guy on everything.
Yeah, it's like Frank's Red Hot sauce.
Yeah, it's just like we're just gonna throw it on everything, and I think that is a perfect choice for Fantastic Four. And with some of the rumors that things got scrapped and changed and whatever else because of the pandemic, maybe the person that I don't think it was a random person, but the person that we thought was going to be Reed Richards in WandaVision, maybe Matt Shakman had a really deep connection to Fantastic Four, and that's why they let him do WandaVision, because he was building up to that. Who knows? But I think he's a great choice.
I'll tell you what, if I can find it, keep talking real quick. Coy did a list at a panel lately for does he have it on his Twitter? If he has it on his Twitter, I can get it. Well, hold on, because he made a list and it's just people that have worked with Matt and made them the Fantastic Four. And I thought
so like basically here's actors that he has worked with who we could see him pulling to be the cast. That'd be kind of lit. It is interesting to see how that works, right? I mean, one of the prime examples that we know of, Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, right? Like, it's a director who typically uses similar actors. I mean, maybe you could say Ryan Coogler because like he did with Michael B. Jordan.
And then even Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds.
Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds,
now, and apparently Sean might be doing Deadpool 3, so we might get 4
movies. Straw had a funny take on that where he was like, it's kind of like an unofficial Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy trilogy with Free Guy, Adam Project, and then Deadpool 3.
Yeah. I have it. Hold on.
For sure.
Got it. Make sure I can actually. Can you hear it?
With all this talk of WandaVision's Matt Shakman being attached to Fantastic Four, I was challenged to cast the Fantastic Four using only actors Shakman had already worked with. Here's what I got. Always great, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think Glenn Howerton would authentically make a great Mr. Fantastic. He's got an arrogance about him, but he's also inherently charming. There is a want. He has said he stayed in shape because he's always wanted to play a superhero. He also is the number 2 pick for Star-Lord after Chris Pratt, so they're familiar with him. I legitimately think Glenn Howerton would be great. If they go a little younger, the great Nat Wolff has also worked with Matt Shakman. I think he'd be solid. I think Glenn Howerton's my number 1 pick, but a little younger. I don't think they should do a young Fantastic Four. They've tried twice, didn't work out. But if they do younger, I'm going to go with Miss Daddario as a Sue Storm, who has worked with Matt Shakman. She has not done anything super heroic yet, and I also think she is able to convey the very intelligent while also being very superhero stunning, which is a hard line to walk. We've seen a lot of 90s movies where they could not do that. I think she can. But I would prefer an older Sue Storm, a fully adult Sue Storm. And I think from The Boys, the always incredible, underrated Karen Fukuhara. This woman does not get enough credit. Fire. She is so talented, has such a presence, has just a ness about her. She reads is very intelligent, which is important when combating Reed's intelligence. So those are my younger and older pick for these. Now with Johnny, it's very important.
Actually, multiple picks,
sassy, but heartwarming. They need to be charming, but also braggadocious. They need to be the comic relief, but you also have to like them. Who better than Mac? Rob McElhenney would be such a good Human Torch. But if they don't want Mac, they've also got. He was in one episode of Always Sunny. You got Sean William Scott. It's definitely my '90s pick. Country but here Mac. We are. Country Mac. We are going to only have one casting option for The Thing because it's a voice role. This one did one guest star on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's Ted Lasso. I'd love to hear Jason Sudeikis' voice because you want someone that has presence. You want someone who can deliver.
How great is that pick? Those picks are pretty good.
Not bad at it. I think it would be funny because as much as people have loved Ted Lasso, I think that pick for The Thing would bring a lot of people in. It is interesting, and I know that it is how it's going to be, but it is interesting that The Thing has been reduced to it's going to be a voice. I think the guy Michael Chiklis, he actually said, I remember because he was saying I think they need to bring someone new. He was asked about when they announced Fantastic Four what to think, and he was like, no, they need to bring somebody new. He was like, somebody else have a chance. He was like, I definitely hope don't be afraid to take a chance. Maybe even have a little bit of a costume, because there's I don't know, man.
Well, they'll have somebody in a green, that actor will be in a green suit or with the head on top and something on them of some sort, probably.
I miss a little bit of the movie magic with costume plus CGI, but
I do.
we all know how it's
I
gonna be.
agree. Well,
Everyone's gonna complain that he don't look realistic enough or he doesn't fit the scene because of the color or some shit.
well, it does look good. We talked about it earlier. Batman and Matt Reeves got a contract from Warner Brothers,
That one.
and it's a overall first look deal with Warner Brothers that allows him to help them develop other projects. My funny thing to look, shout out to Matt Reeves. I think that's fantastic for Matt Reeves. I think it's great. The quote wasn't necessary though, because we all know it's bullshit. You said signing a big deal like this with a legendary company, it is what is it? It feels like home. And I was just like, bro, your house is on fire. Like,
I mean, technically, he did his job. He
Don't
understood
disagree.
the assignment.
So much
I
so
guess
that
it is-
I don't even think HBO and Paramount Plus have canceled his Penguin Arkham side project thing. I haven't.
no,
heard
that was part of the announcement. After when he announced the contract, he announced Batman 2 is a go, and also announced that the Penguin side project is still good. But they didn't mention anything about the Gotham City Police Department show, which everyone is like, oh, that's just Gotham. Like, we already got that. And it's like, this is different.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
did you see Danny? What's his name? Why am I forgetting it?
What about him?
Danny,
Reigns?
huh?
I'm just messing with you.
The one from It's Always Sunny, Hercules.
Yeah. You mean Danny DeVito,
Danny
who said
DeVito, thank you.
that he should
You see,
play
Danny
Phil?
DeVito said that his Penguin was better than Colin Farrell. I was like, what?
Well, he also said that, and in the same breath also said, yeah, Disney for Hercules live action, they better cast me as Phil.
And then the Russo brothers, who are producing the movie, quote tweeted it with the Mean Girls. Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Bro, the Russo brothers are hilarious on social media.
They really are.
Man.
They really are. Although, do you guys remember why they canceled Batgirl? What was it? What did they say?
It didn't test
It
well.
didn't test well. Is that what they
Didn't
said?
test well. There was a test for the Flash. Apparently, it tests just as good as the Dark Knight. No one's saying the movie's going to be horrible. It's just the fire around it.
Yeah, I saw about that, and
They also
yeah,
said it wasn't epic enough for the movie theater. Now, here I'll tell you this: I love this first movie. It's one of my favorite, just dumb movies, and I will watch it all the time. But you can't tell me a remake of House Party is epic enough from going from a TV show on HBO to going to the big screen, but yet you take Batgirl away because it's not.
Also, why does House Party need anything else?
It's getting redone. As Q Jacobs Q Jacobs nonsense earlier.
If I guarantee you, I should talk about that with my dad because he loves House Party, and it's
Love
just
House
like
Party.
he would just be like, okay. Like, he'd probably watch it just off of the name House Party, but like,
Love House Party.
what is the point? Why can't
There
we
was
just
two
have new
remakes
and
to it.
shiny
House Party was
things?
the only one I knew everybody would know, and there was another one. It was just like both are remakes, and they're both being brought from TV show to movie, and it's just like, tell me you're broke without telling me you're broke. Like, I don't know what to tell you at this point. Like, and then you got the IRS like, hey, we might want you to delete
tired.
all footage of Batgirl to prove that you're never going to show it.
Really?
Uh-huh. The two directors actually
Because they got a tax break from
correct. And the other issue is
hell.
that, well, here's the other thing that happened. The two directors, one of them was getting married. That's how they found it. And then nobody called and told them. This socials went crazy while one of them was getting married, found out Batgirl got canceled. And then they went, I think last week before, they went to go pull some footage and like get some stills and photos and stuff. So that way they'll have it like for them. Not in the server. Warner Brothers Discovery took it from the server and it is in the recycling bin basically on somebody's computer at HQ. They can't see it. They can't touch it. What they've worked 2 years on is gone. They'll never see it unless Warner Brothers allows them to see it, which there's supposed to be a viewing party for it today or tomorrow. But that's even up in the air because if the IRS says like you can't show it ever, that's crazy. You spend 2 years of your life doing a project and then it gets pulled from you and deleted, and no one will ever see it
Yeah, that is like literally.
unless you have bots. Unless you have bots and you use those bots to get it, which is hysterical because on a podcast they asked Dan Lin about running DC now, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm super fantastic. Like I'm excited. I like what they did. Kind of. It just wasn't all there, and now we'll put it together." And they were like, "Well, what about Snyderverse?" And you know, you've said that you weren't a big fan of the Snyderverse and all that stuff. And he goes, it was okay. And they were like, "We saw that all the Snyder fans are kind of coming after you about it." And he went, "What? The bots?"
The Snyderverse is dead. I'm kind of over that. Again, I'm
Seriously.
over all huge movements. I'm sick of it. Just, I don't care until I have the ticket and I'm scanning it to walk into the theater. I don't trust any of the plan and this and that on paper because y'all are just showing y'all don't give a fuck. As far as the Flash screening, because I actually got asked this, you know, says it's screening well. You gonna watch it? I'll watch the movie. I'm not buying the ticket.
Jordan, if you go and watch it, then you're supporting Ezra Miller.
I already pay for HBO Max. When it goes on HBO Max, I'll watch it.
I mean, technically, I pay for AMC and it's a free ticket. Does that count?
Yeah, you're still supporting him.
Okay. Well,
yeah. For me, it's because again, there is the whole, there's always the argument: can you separate the art from the artist? And it always depends.
Yeah.
My thing is that I, in general, am sick of fucking hearing about this movie.
Yeah.
It's just like Kanye when he says he's releasing a new album and then it never comes out. I get to a point. It's just the way that I am. I get to the point that I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And then the fact that WB has done all the things that they've done with the Ezra Miller situation, I'm like, I'm good. I'll watch.
I didn't
movie.
think we were actually going to talk about Flash or Ezra this week, and I was so excited. And then that shit yesterday, and I was just like, cue the girl screaming into the pillow. That was me, and I was just like, oh god, come on! 1 week, I don't want to talk about it.
It's like I didn't want the Flash to get canceled. At this point, if it did, it is one film that I wouldn't care anymore because, as Jacob and I have talked about, like this movie was supposed to come out like in 2018, bro.
Yeah.
Like they've been talking about this movie forever, and then all this shit, I just don't care anymore.
It's almost like live action Avatar for Netflix, right? Like,
yeah, it's been being talked about forever. I'm just over it, and
well,
of all things that could have been canceled, it wasn't. But something that did get canceled.
I was gonna say, speaking of Netflix, speaking of Netflix,
about it being canceled,
Resident Evil got canceled after one season because it was a whole just pile of dog shit. It was not great. There was some
shit looked like cheesy Walking Dead.
They've been like on that for a while because they did the same thing with Cowboy Bebop, right?
Oh, Cowboy Bebop, they canceled midway through the actual show.
Before the shit was even finished coming out.
Not even done yet. It was like, I think 5 episodes in maybe, and it was just, and I had made a comment about it. It was, to me, it looked like an NBC like special. Like that's as good as it was for me. And I was just like, because I was really excited about it, and it was just like, oh, this is not good. The CGI was okay, and like the acting was okay-ish. And I was like, I don't see this for Netflix. Like NBC, I would be like, yes, this is good NBC. Like it looked like season 5 or 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me. And then like I think Jacob, it was like the 5th episode when it came out, and it was just done.
Damn.
That was it.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been having a lot of those adaptations again, like the anime and the video game adaptations, bro. Leave it to the big screen and leave it to huge funding.
Well, we're about to see a bunch of them coming.
I'm gonna enjoy just playing my games on my consoles and my computer. I'm sick of this.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I did enjoy Uncharted. I did enjoy that, but again, that had the funding of Sony. And
and also
big conglomerate, big screen.
It had Tom Holland in it and some other actors and actresses in it. So like it was fun-ish. It was like a national treasure for me.
Resident Evil was a game that I already like. I don't really play them. I of course bought the remasters in 2020 when I was just on a binge of like, here's all these games that I'm gonna fucking play because they're on sale for like $5. And then
because also we're all stuck at home.
Yeah, and then I didn't do it.
Home in the house and in the house bored.
That dude is like gotten a feature with Ty Dolla $ign now.
Yeah, I saw that. Like that's crazy.
He's been doing good stuff.
So next week, She-Hulk, the internet breaking episode apparently. Game of Thrones.
About it.
Yeah, House of Dragons episode 2, and Lord of the Rings. And I'm super excited, super stupid excited about that because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
And hopefully no Ezra Miller.
I want to celebrate. Like I almost want to do a celebration episode if we don't have to talk about the Flash or Ezra. Like, wouldn't that be something?
Would be great. It would be. Amazing.
I'm honestly celebrating whenever the movie comes out because then we won't.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, to go back, speaking of Netflix, I don't know if you saw Sandman is doing good, but not good enough. They don't know if they're going to get a second season or not for Sandman.
God damn it. We can't have nothing nice.
Nope. So
you know what they do? They should like reboot something. They don't need to make anything new. Yeah.
I mean,
see, that's what I'm talking about. Because like Sandman, I've never heard of it. That was something new, something to do. Like,
yeah. So next week we're going to try to be a little happier, a little better for everybody. We all might actually be rested, except for one of us.
When I tell you, y'all, it has been a week for me and the boys, but the past 3 days have been insane. Thank you, everyone who is in the live chat with us. If you guys want to catch us when we're live, we go live on YouTube for these episodes, or you can catch the replay, Daily Kazoo Podcast. But if you're listening to the audio, we appreciate you too. Rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. Help boost the algorithm, get us to new listeners, man. I've been enjoying what I'm doing with these two guys. And the way that they have had my back this week, like, appreciate y'all, for real.
Of course, man. Of course. Also, next week, I was waiting for it. Next week is the last episode, possibly for a week. We might have a little gap because Jacob and I will be in Anaheim at D23.
We are?
Yeah, we will. Somebody will be changing diapers, and we'll be changing.
We'll be changing our diapers too, homie.
Anyway,
we're gonna be getting all the announcements and stuff.
Yep. And I'll be texting Jordan, be like, "Can you believe this?" And he'll be like, "No, I don't even know what the fuck happened. Like, tell me."
You know what I'm gonna fucking do for my videos? Because I'm going kind of low maintenance on content right now. I say that, and then I even made videos at the hospital. But I'm just gonna green screen y'all's videos, just like.
Oh, you're just gonna do the floating head?
I'm just gonna be looking. You're just gonna see Jacob or Adam or both in a video talking, and then you're just gonna see my head creep in, like, and then my face is gonna go away, and that's just gonna be all that I do for content during 2023.
Great. All right. Well, next week is gonna be a big week. We got a lot of new shows, a lot of new stuff to talk about. Hopefully, no Ezra in the Flash. Let's count down the days. And other than that, hey, real quick, though, everybody. If you could, go check out GLD. GLD is pretty fire. That's where we get our pendants from. It's where I'm going to be getting some other stuff from. They're pretty dope. I would definitely go check them out. Shopgld.com. Put us in the comments, whatever you want to do. Yep, there it is. Mine's actually right here behind me. Boop, right there. Yeah, this man looking for his. So
drop my box in the room upstairs. Wait, hold on. Don't go anywhere.
Wait, is
box isn't as cool. Oh shit! I just hit the desk.
Oh damn! There you go. The OG box. There you go. All right. Well, just want to give him a shout out, and don't forget, as always,
I love you 3000.
I love you guys 3000, and we'll see you next week. Brand new stuff, brand new fun. See everybody.
Peace.